good morning, everybody. Welcome back with Cooking with Chef Puff. We always bring you the good stuff. Okay, today is going to be part 2 of winemaking, okay? And what we're going to do here is cleaning, sterilization. And I will be using a one-step cleaning solution. For every gallon of water, you use 1 tablespoon of this one-step cleaning condition. There's no rinsing off. This stuff works out. It works really, really good. All right. And also, I want to mention, I have some other cleaning solution that is really good. It's what the restaurants use. Okay, and it's called Star San. All right, Star San. I also will be spraying this also once I do the clean, because when making wine, what you know, you're going to consume it. You want to sterilize it. Sterilizing is the most important thing you can do with your wine making or any kind of spirit making. But you got to be very careful with this here. A little bit goes a long way. Follow directions on the bottle. All right. I mean, very, very little bit. And it has a form of acid in it, which it kills bacteria. It's what restaurants use to clean their cooking and prepare, you know, when they prepare their food areas. Okay, so we'll be using this also too later on. So let me get this sink set up with the hot water. I'm using hot water and tap water, and as soon as I start filling up the sink, I shall return. All right, welcome back, everybody. All right, I got the water, very hot water here. All right, I need to get all this stuff. I'm using a whisk to stir the water around and get it all mixed up. All right, like I said, this is it's a no rinse. One step, no rinse sterilization. All right. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start adding, like the turkey baster, I'm going to add into it. All right. I'm going to add the airlocks, all its components. Just add everything to clean them. Even the lids. Get the lids in there. Get the lids. All right. But be very careful with this here. Be very, very careful. This thing is very delicate, okay? So what I usually do, there we go. And just let it float around in there. All right, let me cover up my one step. Get it nice and sealed. Get it out of the way. Okay, let me get my wand. Okay, let me get this out of the way. So everything is going to be being sterilized here right now. Okay, and then I'm going to do the buckets. So once I get done with this sterilization, I shall return. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Okay, let me start washing this all down. All right. All right, so what you want to do with the turkey baster, put it together. All right. Airlocks. Okay. But you get the logistics of what you are supposed to do when you're sterilizing. You make sure that you hit every corner, get it all nice and clean. All right. But like I said, you get the logistics. So I'll be back when I finish up with the sterilization of the loose items here. Hey, welcome back, everybody. All right, let's continue making this wine now. All the stuff I had to I let it air dry. Almost air dry, but it's still wet, whatever. But she's clean. They're all sterilized. Okay, what I'm gonna do now, the instruction says, follow the instructions to a T, because it's, in this wine, there's 5 steps. All right, the first step today, and you wanna document all your steps that you do. Okay, so I'm gonna put today's date, and on that day, it's everything I've done today. So it's all here in black and white here. So you have step 1, this is day 1. Then you have day 14 in 2 weeks. You got to come back to it. Then you have day 15, the next following day. Then you have, okay, between 40 to 42 days, okay, for your wine, to let it continue to sit, okay? And then basically the last step is transferring. Well, no, not necessarily. You're already going to transfer it, but the last step is bottling, okay, and corking. All right, so the first thing today is, all right, April, okay, Google, what's today's date?
It's Tuesday, April 11th.
Okay, today's April 11th. So what I'm going to do,
11 is spelled E.
4/11/23. Okay, and the time is, okay, Google, what time is it? No, 9:27. 9:27 a.m. Pacific gravity. I'm gonna have to measure that. So the first step is I need 12 cups of warm tap water. Okay, so, and then the first step is today we're only going to be using the bentonite. And here we go, pack A. This is what we're going to need. And we're going to need the wine yeast today. All right, everything else comes in several days and several weeks. All right, so we set that aside. So, that's 8. This is an 8 quart, 8 cup measuring cup here. So I'm going to need like 4 more cups here. All right. So yes, winemaking, it is a hobby. It is a hobby, and you can enjoy it. But it is time consuming, but it is a hobby. All right. And it's something you can say, well, I made this. Yeah, you did make it. All right. So, that rinsed off. Now I'm going to need the bentonite. All right. Bentonite going here. I'm gonna need a pair of scissors for this here. All right. And all you're gonna do with the bentonite is pour it in and stir. Process is very simple. Get it all mixed up in there. This process is almost done, basically. Don't rush it. You don't need to rush. But the final product is really delicious. All right, that looks about good enough there. Now, what we're going to do after that, we go back to the instructions. Okay. Okay, stir and pack the bentonite. empty out the contents of the grape juice. Now comes the grape juice. All right. All right. There is a tool to take this cap off, but I just use a regular pair of what you call it, pliers here to remove the cap here. All right. So, it's not that hard to do, but you're gonna need something to take this cap off. All right. And then you just pull it up. Now, what you're gonna do with this juice? You're gonna put all this juice. Oh, it smells so good. Without spilling it, get it all in there. All these grapes. Right. Now, once you got all the grape juice mostly out of it, you still have some in there. Let's get some water in here. Because you want all your juice. All of it. You don't want to leave nothing behind. And I'll show you exactly what I need. But what I like to do is put the cap back on. All right. And as you can see, there's a lot of juice left in there. Put the cap back on. Get it all squished around in there. All right. Ready to remove the cap again. And get the rest of the juice out of the bag. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, man. My main, oh yeah, baby. That smells good. Okay. Now that is done. Okay, now we're going to go back to the instructions now. Now it says, okay, empty out the contents of the grape juice, okay, the primary fermentation. Rinse the bag out and add back into the primary fermentator. Okay, next you're going to tap off the fermentation bucket to 6 gallons with tap drinking water. Stir well using a hydrometer to measure your specific gravity. See above? Okay, blah, blah. Place loose fitting lid on primary with airlock. Okay, so with all that is saying is that I'm going to take the bucket. Here's a 5-gallon mark. 6 gallons is going to be right up here. Right to this line here. All right, so I'm going to fill the bucket up with warm tap water. Okay. Here we go. Let's get the filling. Got quite a ways to go. 5, 6. All right. Like anything you dealing with yeast, the temperature should be between 105 to 110 degrees at least. All right. Anything past that, you have a chance of killing your yeast. All right, she's about right here, right now. She's not at the 5, the 5-gallon mark yet, but I got to get it to the 6 right here. All right. And I'm also going to be doing a Pinta Grigio. Got a Pinta Grigio on standby here with the second bucket. All right, she's almost up to the 5-gallon. You know, at first when you start, you get very it's a little overwhelming at the beginning when you first start and you've never done it before. But after you do several, you know, the confidence is there. And when you actually get to taste your final product instead of you going to the liquor store and buying a bottle of wine, you are exposed to whenever you want it, how you want it, and you don't have to go to a store and buy it because you made it. That's the fun thing in it. All right, it's almost up to the 6-gallon mark. It's about right here right now. I don't know if you can see that, but it's getting there. All right, and she's there. She's there. Okay. Now, what else I'm going to do, what I like to do also too, just to show you it, all right? Just to show it to you. But here's the Pinta Grigio here that I'll be making later on. But what I really want to show you is this piece. If you can see it, and all you do, you get a good mix with. Basically, you have to do this because between the water, the bentonite, and the juice, you want to get it combined pretty good. Not a fast speed. And you just give it a nice, good mix. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Let's get it there. Now, I need my hydrometer. Okay. But at this time, you can actually taste it. It's just grape juice right now. It has to go through its fermentation where the sugar that's in the grapes with the yeast will turn the sugar into alcohol. Okay? So, what you want to do, you want to call it a wine thief. All right, yeast is going to be the last step. Okay? Because you don't want to put your yeast in, then do this process. You want to do the testing first before you put the yeast in. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to get it all the way to the top so I can actually show it to you to understand what goes on. Okay. Now, I have it in here now, the hydrometer. Okay, right now she's floating high. All right. The reason why she's floating high is because of the sugar. Now, in several weeks, when you'll notice when the yeast is starting to do its work with the sugar, because this hydrometer, when it's all said and done, she's going to drop all the way down to wine. Wine. Right now, she's at about 80. She's about 80. See how low it is? 80 is about right here. How can I see it? Right where I'm pointing my thumb at. Now, when it's all said and done with the alcohol, she'll be up here. Up here. All right, so we got that out of the way. And what I want to do, now everything that I did use, I am going to re-sterilize. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to taste it a little bit. With a little bit of ice, this is good. Pour that back in. Okay. Now the next step, and the last step, and the final step for today, let's go back to the instructions. And I want to put down my specific gravity is at 80. Okay. Now, the yeast. Now, the only thing you're going to do with this yeast, you're not going to stir it. You're not going to do nothing to it. You're just going to put it in and just sprinkle it around. This yeast is hungry. She's hungry, and she's going to eat. In a couple of weeks, you're going to have wine. And I want to get all my yeast out of there. Oh, my little babies. Okay. Now, what I have to do now, here, seal, 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 seal. Now, for the airlock. I'm just using regular water. Put the bobbin in. Put the top on. And put the airlock on. Now, wine making, like I said, if it's your first time doing it, yes, it's normal to be nervous. All right. The wine kits vary in different prices. You can spend up to $200 on a wine kit. It depends on where it's from and what type of grapes. All right. These wine kits will yield you about, with the 1.75 liter bottles, it'll give you 2 cases, and that's basically 12 bottles. All right. But if you use the 750 ml bottles, you can get about 30 or more. All right, in the bottles itself. All right, I like this 1.75 liter bottles. All right, they just look nicer at the table or whatever instead of little tiny little bottles. All right, so I'm gonna stop here, and I'm gonna be back in a couple of weeks. Well, actually, I'm gonna be back in 14 days, and we'll continue with this video. So I'll see you on the next part. Part 3 will be coming up in 2 weeks.